Okay, clearly this is not going anywhere, so I'm just going to start the episode with no camera for right now, and I'll fix that as we go along. So, well met, lords and ladies, Jacob Butter speaking, and welcome back to another episode. So, just going to say this like right off the bat. Thank you for bearing with me with this and the fact that I started up super late and everything. Yeah, just full disclosure, daylight savings has hit me significantly. I've been behind for everything else. I try to think, oh hey, let's actually do dinner first and then come back up here, which did not quite work. For that, there's a bit more to it than that, but still. So yeah, people wonder why I don't always eat before streams. This is why. But yeah, um, what else? Yeah, so you're wondering why I just as far as cameras go, my other camera probably still works, but I've led to understand that when you're doing VTubing, you're never supposed to actually show your actual face during the same video. I'm pretty sure I've talked to like a bunch of people, and that's always the taboo they bring up. So yeah, just for now, ignore me. We're gonna put the episode up. We're gonna focus on disco pops. That's what's gonna happen. And while the episode is going, we're gonna load stuff in the background. So yeah, let's actually get this on the road, shall we? From what I remember from last time, it was I literally just recapped this for myself. Ah, yes, they recovered from hypnosis. So, you know, Nurse Disaster, Doctor Ruin, and all those people Nurse Despair that was. They're all recovered. So I guess it's time for the next new arc, which will take us to the end of the season. Yet another season finale. So without further ado, on with the review, and I will pull up the back rooms once again. Oh wait, I forgot. I also have to read everything because there's no audio. Welcome to this week's episode of the Disco Pops. There's no audio. Why am I turning it down? Anyway, I'd like to give a shout out to Sweet Kate for Sweet Cake, sorry, for the idea of this episode, as well as once again Flowerpoint 1300. Hello, Jalen, once again. Well, I'm to understand that you saw the stream yesterday, but since you're on your own account right now, I'll acknowledge you individually. So yes, welcome back. You're all drowning. Yeah, you're all drowning in cake. Yeah, people don't get that, and you're watching the VOD. Pull up the live chat. You'll see what I mean. Like during the time, during the time when I was like trying to set this all up, there was some interesting stuff going on there, mostly involving cake and emotes. So yeah, they have a lot of fun on there. So yeah, be sure to actually join the live chats if you can. Once if I actually start streaming at the right time. Anyway, yeah, the last time this course was the corruption era. Yes, Majesty and Cheshire were corrupted for a bit, and also a few of the pops themselves, and they all got recovered last time, so on to the next phase here. That's what I meant by that. I didn't explain that properly. Flower pots today will be in this episode, and cakes will start near the end and will be next week. If you have any ideas, leave them in the comments below. And there might be another certain villain group from another pop series that will appear. Well, if it's the Star Tribe, let's just say they are a little bit busy during this period. So I don't know about that necessarily. Maybe since everyone's off and the Jazz Pops are on their wild goose chase, I think they're maybe they have a bit of spare time on their hands. Fair enough. But now, without wasting any more time, on with the episode. What do we have here? Another pop group? Oh, also, yeah, ABC, Your Parents Are Dead. That was Ballroom Pops. That was a different show. What? Yeah, way later down the line. And oh, and Johnny's here. Okay, good. Glad I caught you particularly. reasons. Oh, we already saw this episode. We did 9 and 10. Oh, all right then. Oh, wait a second. The event title didn't update. That's why. And this event says 9 and 10. Yeah, this is the season finale. The thumbnail should be correct. I don't know why the title is wrong. Again, I am functioning at about 50% today. So yeah, so again, bear with me. Okay, fine. 2 videos for today in that case, and this is episode 12 of Disco Pops. And here we go, on with the review, for real this time. Welcome to episode 12 of the Disco Pops. I'd thank once again to Sweet Cake for the episode idea. If you have any suggestions, leave them in the comments below. Now on with the episode. Oh no, we must have been sent to the Wild West. How do we get back? We have to stop the Cloaked Master. I think I might be able to help. Oh, that's right. Okay, so you know the thumbnail for this episode where I'm like blocking the person. This is the person that I'm blocking. There's a new pop that was marketed for this episode. At the risk of once again having to crash my computer, I'm going to read the description because that's what I normally do. Okay, so the descriptions. Oh, no, it's loading again. Oh, wait a second. Okay, so there's. Nope, it's gone back to episode 11 again. I don't know what's happened with my thing. It's going back and forth between 2 videos that I've clicked apparently. So yeah, Firebot's idea was the zoo. Cake's idea was for them to do time travel, and bring that up, please. Okay, so following that up, it just says the episode is called Disco Pops Rescued by a New Pop, and then a link to Funk Pops episode 1. So, okay. So, because originally I was going to say, like, my concern with this episode was that it was going to be yet again another example of a new pop coming in when the main group haven't had too much exposure themselves at this point. But actually, if it's just somebody who's from from a different show coming in as a guest here, and it's just to promote the other one, then yeah, that's fair enough. VUP is still loading, if you can believe it. Okay. Who are you? I'm Karma Pop. I'm part of the Funk Pops. Yeah, see, there we go. Oh, also, Emily's of course talking about designs again in here. So yeah, they're better than the other ones. Well, I will say in effect, these ones have one thing going for them that the Jazz Pops that we've seen in the previous stream do not. They have front hair. So, there's that. Also, are the Disco Pops names types of disco dances? There we go. Yeah, so Johnny says yes. Okay, all right. Nice to meet you. I know who you are. You guys are the Disco Pops. Wait, how did you know that? I've been a huge fan of you guys. It is always interesting to me how like the pops that from different groups all seem to be like fans of each other, even if they've not interacted personally. It gives me the idea that yes, they do get media exposure, especially because they're all pop groups. So yeah. Still looks like they got pulled out Rainbow Sisters from 20. Hold on, wait, that's a thing? Emily, is that a thing that I should investigate? Because I don't recall Rainbow Sisters from that period. So yeah, should I should I add that to the list? Oh, okay. I meant the review list, but Ghost Kitty, yes, you're right. Ideas list is another thing to consider. The sad news is we never hear of. Hold on, wait a second. Okay, you never hear of Karma again because Kate was off of Whitey. Okay, so that implies that Karma is a self-insert of from Kate. I'm guessing Kate is the civilian form and also the person, you know, the pop sona, if you will, of the creator of Funk Pops, presumably. And if that's the case, then yeah, I can understand why she was never brought up again. But at the same time, take it from me, you don't actually have to follow that. Like you can bring back, especially if like it's a fictional character who is not voiced or more importantly, legally owned by anyone. That's the definition of public domain. You can just bring that character back in. But then again, I understand if you don't want to do that out of principle. I get that. For a while I had a bit of a scare because the creator of Empress and Pop at one point asked me to stop using them in Mutant Girl videos, to which I said, um, yeah, I can't do that. They're both of them are too integral to the show. And to this day, they still drive a huge amount of the plot, even if it is just for like their own arcs, but also for the main characters. So yeah. There seems to be a lot of nostalgia for this Rainbow Sisters series that's going on in here. Okay, I am definitely adding Rainbow Sisters onto the list now. The review list, I should say, not the story idea list. Just to clarify. I'll help you guys escape. There's a portal that can bring us back. Are you no? What do you mean bring you back? Like, okay, please don't tell me that you just teleported them here and they're going to leave like within like the first few minutes of being here. Please tell me that's not what's about to happen. Well, what are we standing around here for? Let's go. Out to the desert. Oh, okay. So the portal should be over there. So they don't interact with like anyone who was in the Wild West, like the Old West or anything. Just all right, fine. Not so fast, Disco Pops. Wait, who's this pop? Who's this pop? I don't know. Getting caught up in the voice acting. The name is Karma Pop, and I'm here to save them. Foiled again. Oh, okay. Wow, the cloaked master. I mean, for for a villain boss, um, the cloaked master is how to put this lightly, a complete pansy. Nice job, Karma. I don't know why we can do that ourselves, but nice job. Snap, what's wrong? I can explain. I'll teleport you to the ship at once. Okay, so Majesty is here as well. So if Majesty can teleport them already, why couldn't she just teleport them like outside of the West and then like back to the ship without them having to go to the portal? Why did they teleport to the portal first in order for Majesty to see them? If she can track them here, where they haven't left the portal yet, she could track them back in the old location. And clearly, Karma found a way in. So what was stopping them from immediately going back again? I don't get it. Cloaked Master Bro should take classes on 5 rules that are better villains. Uh well, I know of an 8-year-old that's a better villain. The Linus from Shark Boy and Lava Girl. I will never get over the image of an 8-year-old with minions. Not illumination minions. Plenty of 8-year-olds have those. I mean, like, henchmen. If I ever do a prequel about Pop Josephine's gang, you can expect that visual to be in there. Of Pop as like an 8-year-old, like like Machiavellian like schemer with all of those characteristics. Because obviously, if you're going back in time, going to make it more cartoonish because humanization comes later and okay, down whatever. You get the idea. You know how prequels work at this point. Speaking of, next week is Blues Pops. Ladies, it seems that Snap Pop is part of a forgotten pop group. Yes, this is the time. Of course, we saw this whole thing unravel because I watched them in a different order. But yeah, hold on. All the Doctor Woe kids. I don't know about Doctor Woe actually. I never heard of this thing. What is this Doctor Woe you speak of? Forgotten, as in lost? That's not. Those words aren't synonyms, but okay. Correct, Paul. There is an all blue pop group called the Blues Pops. So you're saying that Snap is part of them? Yes, the only other blues pop that we know is Winter Pop. Wow, I have definitely messed up the timeline here as far as those reviews go. I definitely should have like done this video first and then the Jazz Pops ones. Hmm. Oh well. Oh, the text came in before television effect went away. I guess that's fine, like to tie in the scenes a bit, but yeah, okay. Oh, Danganronpa. Okay, right, never mind then. Right, anyway. Oh, also here's another mention of Jen, who was briefly featured both as a character in the last stream and as somebody who sent me a message in the comments. So just just a heads up. And also cousin Ari, I don't think has been mentioned yet. I guess that's the replacement of Ava. You definitely need someone else that isn't Azure Pop to ruin that group. Anywho, but this of course raises another question, which I didn't bring up during the Jazz Pops reviews because I was saving it for here. The Blues Pops we know were taken we know that they were separated 10 years ago. That's what was said during the message, and that's why Karina had to go back to like the memories of her parents and all those things that happened. That's why they've been lost for ages and forgotten about and blah blah blah. But doesn't Snap go to school with everyone else? So the question really is, 10 years ago, when the Blues Pops were formed, wasn't Snap like 5, 3 possibly? I know that Majesty is terrible at selecting people to and ruthless when selecting her people to become her pops, but I feel like a small child that probably has just managed to compute the idea of locomotion should not be sent into battle with magic powers. Then again, who knows? When I was 5, I would have been all over that kind of idea. Yes, give me power, I want to defeat evil, blah blah blah. I don't know. I guess we'll find out during the Blues Pops prequel because again, we're gonna watch that next week. But it is just amusing to me that that's even a thing that could happen. Oh yeah, didn't she rescue you in the Jazz Pops? Again, all the pop groups are fans of each other, so they keep informed of all their media presences. Yeah. The three of I can just hear that in like your like small child voice, Emily. I'm gonna beat you. Exactly. Yes. Same thing happens with Diana Kim's biological mother. Okay, I have no idea what Johnny's talking about right now. Anyways, we're helping her find the other pops. Guys, don't worry. I'll still be there in case you need me. Oh, and that's it. That's all you need. Okay. Majesty comes in, pulls a Nick Fury on us, and then just, leaves it right there, I guess. Okie dokie. Sure. All right. Well, this is going to be a much shorter stream than I thought it was going to be, because we're now on to the season finale. And VUP is still not loaded, like, at all. Also, pretty sure there was another gen that was mentioned that wasn't Snap Pop, right? Or because there was a bunch of names that were thrown off in the last Jazz Pops episode. So maybe I jumbled the names wrong. But either way, I was correct. Gen was features a character and as a person in there, so still works. New pop series is the children pops. It should be them, kid pops or something. Kids pops, like, like as in I play on Kids Bop. Something like that. That should be what it is. I'll leave that one in your capable hands, Emily, because I'm sure that you can do a lot with that idea. So okay, so Jessica is currently 12. Again, meaning that she was 2 when the whole Jazz Pops thing happened. I feel like you two really did not coordinate like the lore that you have. Even though you've had like multiple script writing sessions together, something was missing there during that process, I think. Okay, all right, Ghosty wants to be let in. So I guess you can see a human face this time. Let me just quickly do that. I say quickly. It's still loading, so not really. Also, apparently, according to Discord, Maya is at a drag show. So there you are. I gotta respond to that. Excuse. Perfect. Maybe they can all have animal themes. I feel like if that were the case, then you would have like hybrid pops. I mean, this is Gacha we're talking about after all, so I can imagine that would be. I don't know, maybe anyway. And then I have no idea what Emily is doing right now. Oh, okay. Okay, so hold on. So she was 11 at the start of the series. Okay. So she was 11 when that started, meaning that she was. Okay. All right. I guess that doesn't. Yeah, because with like the events of being lost happened 10 years before like the point in Jazz Pop. So if she was at the start, she could still be 12 here, and that would still count. Again, maximum 2, but now minimum 1. What have you not done? There was like a baby on on a shipwreck. That is terrible. Majesty really is scraping the bottom of the barrel for some of these pop selections, clearly. She just needed Also, I don't think yeah, Kitty has a lot of children. Yeah. Gotta start calling herself Bunny at this rate. Oh, by the way, Ghosty, I sent the link in a group chat, so you should have it already, just instantly. And yeah, we know what you mean by gifted. But I mean, she'd have to be more gifted to be a pop at age 1, so or 2. Mm-hmm. This is all, of course, very fun. We consider the fact that we're going to have a call in about a week's time that's going to debunk everything we just said. But whatever. Anyway, hello, Ghosty.
Is it me or does Majesty hire a lot of underage children?
Well, she always hires underage children. That's just like the standard of like the magical girl trope itself. They're all in like at most high school, ever.
At most high school, unless you look at the Madoka Magica fandom, and then you get younger than high school.
Well, yeah, so say like at most, because like again, we've gone down the. I can't remember like what age the characters in the Pretty Cure franchise are, but I think it does vary from high to middle as well. Definitely not elementary though. But who knows? Yeah, I have no idea at this point. Season finale.
Season finale.
We've just introduced a new pop and expanded the universe, so now it's time to wrap up the first season. Very natural. Okay. Welcome, Wipeout fans, to episode 13 of the Disco Pops. I'd like to thank once again, I'm functioning at like 50% for the idea of this episode. And my popular demand, my friend on Roblox, WWE Kane, will be on the set. Oh, so that's who WWE Kane is, because I remember the wrestler from the early episodes. So I guess that was not an actual, not a real life wrestler, unless Johnny is friends with a celebrity wrestler. I just don't know about that, which is entirely possible. I have no idea. Okay, you know what? VUP's not loading at this point. I'm closing it. I'm just switching cameras.
Emily, you've got to stay streaming for another 30 minutes. I want to age up on this stream, pull a Sims.
What?
Just Emily in chat. What?
Oh, okay. No, I get that. I get that. It's because it's Emily's birthday tomorrow, but that's gonna be like in half an hour for us on here. Well, Emily, if you really want to age up on the stream, then I will send you an invite. You can come in and join us for the final episode. If there's 3 people, we'll probably delay it a bit more. So let me just
in case that doesn't delay it, I could show Jake. I could send Jacob a video on what I have for the Monster Compendium intro thus far. I might not have the music version, but I do have the instrumental, which allows me to get started a little bit. You know, jump ahead, just a hot second.
Yeah, I again, I have the vocals recorded. I just have to go through like the 5 takes and possibly see what fine, music studio options I actually have.
Yo, we can
going forward.
We can do that together and be like, hey, what's up? We choosing vocals here today while we wait for Emily to do a Sims Age up on stream.
I guess, but of course we got to finish season finale first, and I'm not doing VUP, so anyway, here's the real me this time.
I need to.
Emily says choose a trait. Oh right, because the Sims. Yeah.
Like Emily, I need to ask, what kind of are we dealing with modded traits? Or are we dealing with base game traits? Believe it or not, this is a very important question.
Mm-hmm.
And then
modded, apparently.
In that case, you want to know what trait I'm gonna go for? From the extended traits mod, I'm going to say determined.
Emily is filled with determination. All right. Moving on with the episode. As always, if you have any suggestions, leave them in the comments. Now on with the episode. Kate, is it cool to... sorry if I skipped that because the private chat went off and it immediately like went in front of me. It's cool that you came to our picnic. All right. Oh, of course, yeah. Kate being the civilian form of Karma, as was established before, who is now off of YouTube. Looks like my classmate, gross vile, says Emily.
Well, they are
There's...
supposed to be assumed normal teenagers, so of course they're
I was
gonna
gonna
look
say
vile.
there's a lot to unpack there psychologically about your classmates, but okay. Anyway, dinner's here. Bye. As you continue the stream, you're filled with determination. Yes, exactly. Hey, thanks for inviting me, Amy. Wait, where are the snacks? You can't have a picnic without them. Well, luckily for you, Courtney, me and Jessica brought them. We brought both pizza and watermelon.
But
That's a good combination.
why does that watermelon look like it has a face?
I have no idea. In Gacha, some trees look like bowling balls, so no idea. Emily is determined to stay awake, yes.
Don't worry, Emily. Your new Sims trait is determination, so whatever you put your mind to, you will do it.
Mm-hmm. If you put your mind to it, you can accomplish anything.
I also put my all four of my tablet pens in my hair as curlers for some reason.
Oh yeah, that was a challenge that the people had where they realized that my hair can actually hold pencils in it and pens. Like if I do this, for example, just stays in there. So at one point, someone actually decided to see how many colored pencils you could stick in my hair at any point. We got up to 87, and then the teacher finally turned around, and I will never forget like the horror-struck face that she had, and we just burst out laughing. We were still doing our work, obviously. Well, actually, I was. He was a bit distracted, but whatever. And yes, this is season 1 of Disco Pops. It's like Fallen Angels, it's one season behind. Yeah. Breaking news! The Cloaked Master is attacking the docks. Citizens are advised to remain indoors.
Also,
every time I see the words breaking news, I think of Element Animation.
good, as you should. Also, Jacob, look at this.
Yeah, I don't have too many more options. Oh wait, actually I do. I have several, but yeah. I have to control the stream as well. I can't be just sticking pencils in my head again.
You have to control the stream. However, I can do whatever I want with my hair. It is a hair.
Yeah, you know there was the thing that was like the 100 layers of blank challenge that was a while ago. Maybe I should do the 100 colored pencils challenge at some point. Once my hair grows out a bit more.
100 colored pencils.
Yeah. Anyway, I guess the picnic will have to wait. My hair is so long and thick. How many go there? You know what? See, here's the thing. If I do a challenge and I nominate people this time, I hope a few of you actually hop on that. Emily, I know you haven't done a face reveal other than by accident several times, but just turn your back to the camera. Do a back of the head reveal. That'll be fine. Can you just imagine a whole Emily video just like this? Hey everyone,
Gosh.
I don't know Emily's intro. This is what I'm doing right now, and I'm going to do the back of the head reveal, and I'm also going to do the pencil challenge or something to try and constantly gesture behind you. I don't know.
Just buy yourself some of those fake prop hands.
Or just you know what? Oh, hold on. You'll out the face cam up 2K special. You hit 2K ages ago. You'll wear a
Um,
mask and pull around, but yeah, whatever. Whichever thing works, just as long as your hair is there, so you can do the thing. Actually, to be fair, I never did my 1K special that I promised, so yeah, that's fair. I have an idea for it. It's just it's going to take a while. I need to free up time to pull it off because it's gonna involve a lot of editing and some scripting. Anyway, no one else is here. We better go to pop mode. Disco pops, let's get groovy. And I guess Karma Pop says the same theme, even though she's not a member of the Disco Pops. Um, Also, I'll tell you the answer to your 1K special idea that I had off camera. I won't spoil it for the audience. Yeah.
Also, what? I hate these designs even more. I don't like them.
Oh, did you not? Oh, you didn't see them before. Well, Ghosty, I said this. I said this before you joined the stream. They have one thing that is better than the jazz pops. Their front hair.
Yeah, they have front hair, but that doesn't mean I like them.
All right, fine. I mean, granted, you know, 80% of them right now have the same front hair, but it's this there nonetheless.
Like, I gotta give one thing to Groove Pop over here. At least she's two different colors of orange, as opposed to Red Pop, as opposed to Karma Pop, who is singular color red.
Yeah, this is the same era of Johnny that was before Kingdom Defenders when we really denounced that practice of using one color. So, please enjoy Aiden design on steroids for the time being.
Well, at least Aiden's designs have some sort of visual diversity to them.
Yeah, because he always has a secondary color, but for the most part, he does stick very, very, very much to the exact same like two with no variation. And yes, I've said yeah. Emily says Johnny is Aiden on steroids. Again, I've said this before, but I think Johnny is to Eli what Aiden is to me in terms of like our creative relationship. I think anyway.
That's why Aiden's banned from designing. Yeah.
Hmm.
However, my designs are no better. But I purposefully keep my designs simple because when I want to draw assets, it's generally easier not to, have to keep track of 100 things.
Yeah, I got very annoyed by designing in Gacha back in the day, especially with Gacha Life, because without any codes to save the data, it would be annoying to have to start all over again and try to match everything exactly. And based on early musical episodes, you can tell that I wasn't even good at that at the time being. So yes, I kept everything simple on purpose. In fact, some of the things were kept simple legitimately out of spite. In the Cycle of Dismay music video, I used all the presets. I didn't know that was a taboo thing at the time because I was new to Gacha. Once it was pointed out to me, I reacted negatively behind the scenes, let's say, and I was like, fine, you want original designs? I'm just going to alter a couple of things. Here's Pat. I'm going to change his shirt a bit, and I'm going to change 2 letters of his name. Well, add a second one. He's now Pete. And I did that same process for a lot of the characters that became the people in the Mutant Girl. So once again, the writing saved me in those early
Meanwhile, I,
days.
I made a whole ass small animation for a character looking over their shoulder, and I gotta say, individual frames are not
Mhm.
good.
Yeah.
I I can't draw a character profile for the life of me. Like, I don't know, but every time I see a character viewed from the side of the face, it just doesn't look natural.
We've seen that a bit with Sapphire Wings, definitely.
And it's like, oh my god. So I drew a side of the head profile that's only supposed to be on screen for 3 seconds, but I hate it.
Emily says, "I take pride in my design skills because the first time everyone kept praising me for them, and when I took up the weird snobby designing role. Hey, you know what? That's that is fair. I mean,
Yeah, but
when I started
like,
Gacha review, I quickly became the go-to person for everyone's writing needs like immediately. It was a thing for a while where I review something that was done by like one of my friends, and then from that point onwards, they would come to me every time they had anything Gacha related, even if it wasn't story for some reason. I'd be the person to check with, like, I was checking to people's designs. I was like, what am I supposed to do here? I
like
don't know.
Jacob, I can answer that question for you. That's
Mm.
because since you do gotcha on YouTube and you have a following, they consider you like the closest thing to a professional in the field.
Which is weird because a lot of them had more views than I've ever gotten. Like, they've had more success than I have, but yet I guess, well, for whatever reason, they took my input as then like a hurdle from that point onwards. I mean, maybe hurdle's the wrong word. I don't know. I'm not quite sure. Either way, there was something, and then everyone just kind of like calmed down. I guess settled into their own styles and things. Either that or just kind of like expanded my reach, and I don't have everyone on Discord, so that's why it doesn't happen. But I don't know. Um,
Sometimes I
yeah,
think I switch into character when judging designs. Motto uh
is they
is
aren't good
they us
designs
good.
make them kids cry. So you're like BB essentially,
Yeah,
which
but
is
one
fair, I
thing
guess.
I cannot give you is that you are terrible at critique when asked for it.
As in like offering like actual construction, being like, okay, so what to change? So what should change here? What would make something better? That's one thing that I keep trying to do with reviews, particularly because I was there during the commentary days of 2016 when when a lot of people would just be mocking and like not offering like actual criticism at all, really, and that was what we had to go by. And of course, I say also reaction videos in general being much more akin to, oh my gosh.
I do that off cam.
Anyway, like
If
and
asked
subscribe.
on cam, I don't not show why. Lol. I did no.
Hmm.
No.
Yeah, well, I mean, Monet has this theory about people like all having like a persona on camera, which I can understand to an extent. I've said before that the me that people see here is just kind of the same as I am normally. The difference is that because you see me probably in like a much more private setting anyway, um, but also I don't think it's necessarily a camera uh difference that I have. It's more so like just being in public in general. Because when I'm out and about in real life with a bunch of people, that's how I usually am. So I really think it is just a case of preserving my energy before social activity rather than me becoming Jacob versus being Sean, you know.
Like meanwhile, I have a sonar, but that's because I am cripplingly depressed, and I don't think anyone would like to see that.
Oh yeah, no one on the internet can relate to being depressed, of course not. Anyways, breaking news! Hello, I am news reporter Kitty, reporting to you with some shocking news. The docks seem to be under attack by a mysterious being. New reporter Jacob, how's it looking at the docks? Thank you, Ghost Kitty. And now we're going to go onto the scene to find the docks. This is the first thing I could grab that was a microphone, even though I have several in this room. I don't really know why. I have one on my headset right now. I am committed to this bit before I decide I actually planned it out thoroughly. So we're going to move on now, please. Thank you. All right. Before we do, so yeah, we have said that before. Karma Pop's from a different show. That's not wait, it's not available anymore. Oh dang it! I was going to click the link. Oh, speaking of links, I
Meanwhile,
have to read the
there's
description of this episode. Actually, season finale. Should do that.
meanwhile there's Emily in private chat. I switch for who I'm talking to. Everyone has their own sort of person I can be assigned to them,
Hmm.
and they merge if I'm talking to multiple.
Yeah, I once saw a meme of someone being like me when like my family and friends are all in this as in teachers are all in the same room and I have to jog the different personalities that I have for them, and then it's just a person wearing like a bunch of like mismatched clothes, and it looked a bit like a Picasso painting, honestly. Um,
Meanwhile, I always just have a general air of depression about me.
so Sona or otherwise, I think you're toast there.
Meanwhile, Jacob, you've seen like whenever I come on here, I either A look like a normal, reasonable person, or B I look like I just crawled out of a dumpster somewhere.
It has to do with your lighting as well. The fact that you end up like like recording like in darkness a lot of the time does kind of add to the,
Dumpster.
creature from the lagoon. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so I either look really high energy when doing these, or I look like, really bad.
Also, I love the simplicity of this. I never style simple or complicated. Just make sure they look good. I guess that's all you need. Once you know what you're doing, I guess saying, get good, that's fine.
Nope, there's a person for all types of situations, including that one perks of over including that one perks of overthinking.
I think that's meant to be including that one. Full stop. Perks of overthinking, I think.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, again, it's written by Gacha Tuber. Give it some leeway.
Uh I feel personally insulted. I'm gonna go get some pizza.
I've been making that joke for like 4 years. Like since I started doing Gacha review, I've mentioned like how everyone's terrible at spelling. That was the no punctuation. That was the point.
I know that's the point, but now they've started making gotcha content, I don't know how to be proud. But at least you can have confidence in me to actually follow my script.
Yeah, well, I mean, once you stop changing it, but yes.
Yeah, I've gone through several different. I've gone through like what 6 different versions of one script.
Yeah. Something along those lines.
Like for me, it isn't one and done. I can even categorize every concept of Alec I've had over the past 6 months.
Yes, I mean, Ulrich has been Euro C for way longer than that, so I imagine that the concept has evolved a lot more.
Yeah, I remember. Way back in the day, he used to be a Minecraft Wither OC when he was first created.
That actually sounds kind of interesting.
Like
I
it
mean,
sounds
considering that remember there was a series called The Haunted back in the day that was that was and the main character in that Drake, he was half Enderman, so the idea
like
was certainly around.
the idea was certainly around. Like the whole gimmick of his character is that half of his face was, a normal human-looking person, but the other half of his face was a wither skeleton skull.
Yeah,
It was pretty cool. If you want, I could dig it. I could make a video about the old concepts of Ulrich. I just need to slap all of that artwork onto a table somewhere.
yeah. I guess that is interesting. 'Cause, like that means, of course, Ulrich himself as a character predates Gacha.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that also means I'm going to need to find the sketch pad where I once drew him in a jet black maid outfit.
this is gonna be a this is gonna be this could be another video. Like have you watched Product SNT?
Yeah,
Yeah, do one of those. Like if you have any like Ulrich comics or something lying about or DeviantArt pictures you want to tell stories over, absolutely, make some of those. Yeah.
yeah, like one concept of Ulrich, another version of Ulrich that predated Gotcha.
Hmm.
But unfortunately, that's a story for another day. But Ulrich, as a character, ended up being a very eligible bachelor. He had quite a few simps back in my DeviantArt days. And what? It was very surreal.
Is that just kind of like what happened to Empress for some reason?
Yeah, like for me, it's very surreal to see anyone want to simp over a block character.
God, like I remember when when we were
Like,
we were recording for we were when I did like the in person, like, well, not in person, the in call directed sessions for Mutant Girl, and at one point we had to have someone fill in for Julius because Adri wasn't there at that particular point. Um, and so I said to someone like, "Oh, okay, can you be Julius for this scene?" It's like, "Ah, yes, Julius is my crush." We had just all like stopped what we're doing, like, what? And then he had to backtrack. So yeah, before Empress got all the simps, it was Julius for a while. I'll say that much. And then the OG voice of Julius returned years later and became an Empress simp himself. So I don't know.
like I remember, like I once like Ulrich, his character, he used to be, a dad.
Hmm. Oh, okay.
Yeah, he used to be the father of the main character instead of the main character. And
Hmm.
I once drew him like doing dishes while on the phone with someone with like his kids sneaking around in the background.
Okay. Also, can we just acknowledge the
And
fact
for
that
some
Emily the
reason, a lot of people loved him for that. It's
Okay,
like,
hold it. Yeah, hold it for a second, Ghosty. Emily just said in the chat, "I want to date Agatha." Have are we now shifting to the third era of simpage in which Agatha takes center stage?
to be honest, Agatha seems like a fun, person, individual.
Yeah,
Maybe, yeah. I guess we've moved into the new generation.
yeah, but apparently. All right then. She's a fluffy girlfriend type, says Emily. All right, does that mean you're moving on from your Empress phase? I was going to say, pulled in context of the Empress Sims, Emily was, the big champion of that era.
I want a fluffy girlfriend.
I see. I mean, you are getting older, so I guess your tastes are changing. Well, you're getting older in like 6 minutes, so.
Meanwhile, it's just me over here. I started in high school with the goth GF, and I've stayed in high school with the goth GF.
Hey, sometimes you learn to type, and
Sometimes your tastes don't change.
yeah, and sometimes you're like me, where people like ask me like, "Oh, what's your type?" I just go, "Eh." Like that's the thing. The people that I've dated in the past, there's like no consistency whatsoever between them. I have no idea.
Meanwhile, it's just Emily. I want a fluffy girlfriend. Empress is not really a fluffy girlfriend. She's hot, still on top. She could step on me. What's your type? Human. Let's go. I'm gonna go get some pizza. You guys continue to the dock without me. I need to. I'm,
Okay. Right, well, I guess we can get back to the episode then. Let's go, says Bounce Pop. I agree. And there's WWE Kane again. Hello, Pops. Missed me? No. We saw you last episode. Also, Emily just said, I love Frida. No bias, I swear. That's the voice of Frida. Okay. All right, then. I was going to say, since you're the voice of Frida, you could just technically record your own fan fiction for yourself if you wanted to. I don't know. Anyways, what is your plan this time? Oh, trapping you in my lair, then try to remove your powers, which has very obviously not worked before this very time right now, but whatever. Pull, watch out! That was very well, that was, a good thing to watch out for because I didn't even see him charge anything. What have you done to them? Um, The thing I just said. I was pretty clear about my intentions just now. I don't know why you're struggling with this. And Emily says, F everyone else but Paul. I guess because Paul was in front, so the idea was like, making the person you could actually get closest to, like Duck or something. That was it. Also, I think Agatha's cool, but I wouldn't date her, just relate to her. I actually don't think I ever had a crush on a character that I can remember. I mean, yeah, that's fine. I mean, honestly, like my only ever like fictional crush that I've ever had, I think, is Aelita Stones from Code Lyoko. That's it. Like, I'm pretty sure. Anyway, I told you I took them to my lair. There we go. I would. Emily, your appreciation for different characters in the musical, like how it ebbs and flows for different people at different times, is quite fascinating. Anyway, Celestia's taking care of their powers as we speak. This whole season started off with Symphony, but I guess different teams, so can't really have her. See you later, Pops. Wait, Emily, I now know why you hate Julius so much. It makes sense. Well, I mean, you don't hate him, you just don't like him that much. I get it now. I get it now. Anyways, Karma, what are we going to do? Thanks for watching, and this will actually be the season 1 finale. Oh, you just missed the rest of the season 1 finale, Ghosty.
No. And this will actually be the season 1 finale.
Mm-hmm. What do you mean, Emily? I'm neutral to him, referring to Julius, of course. Okay. Well,
Okay.
I don't know what the Funk Pops say to transform. Couldn't you just have asked that question? Since you had one in the video?
Also,
that's why I said I decided to have Kate say the Disco Pop. Okay, got it.
Did they get to the docks?
Well, yes, they ran over to the docks, and they saw the Cloak Master there chasing WWE Kane. The Cloak Master said, "Oh, did you miss me? I'm going to teleport you to my lair," and then blasted 2 of them. One of them manages. The Pool Pop was told to duck by Karma, so they both escaped that ordeal. The Cloak Master, I guess, couldn't be bothered to cast a spell the second time, so he just pieces out, and that's the end of the season.
That's the end of it.
That's legitimately all you missed.
What?
So Apple and Banana are there. I should see why I called them that. Okay.
They have the color palettes of fruit. Yes,
Yeah.
I agree with you completely.
Well, that's not the idea. Fruit pops. Plum pop, carrot pop, cabbage pop, apple pop. Well, cabbage is a vegetable. We get the idea. And banana pop. Yeah. Gross fruit. Fruit is delicious, I tell you. Anyways, like, subscribe. I'm 1 dozen away from the 100. Actually, where is he right now? I think it's like, oh yeah, he's close to 500. Also, he said in the description that if this video gets 5 likes, he'll work on season 2. It got 6 likes, so there you go. Also in the comments, by the way, happy birthday, Emily. It's now time. You can't leave the season on a cliffhanger like that, says Flowerpot. Well, you're one to talk. And make a season 2, hoping to finish episode 1 tomorrow. And yeah, okay. All right. It's Emily's birthday, everyone. And now let us all join in for a latency-filled, live chat delay-induced happy birthday rendition. Let's see. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Emily. Happy birthday to you.
May everyone you simp for fall in love with you.
May your simp dreams come true. The chat is only just now catching up with the song. We're gonna have to leave that there for a bit, I think. Can't have that many girlfriends, says Emily. Yeah, fair enough. You'll get bail on your case for having gacha girlfriends in the first place. Oh dear. Only 24 hours in the day. That is very true. Or in this case, or in this day, 23. Well, I guess I say the previous day now, 23. Which is why I was such a mess. All right.
Also,
Okay.
Josh is asking a pros and cons with the season.
All right. So the season as a whole, it very clearly started a formula because the first episodes were all the pops in the exact same pose, announced that they're going to do a thing, and then they went to do that thing. As a formula, that's fine. It's just I would probably have liked if they didn't just literally stand it the exact same way every single time it happens. Like at least disguise it a little bit, you know.
Gacha has a lot of different poses. You could easily just have them standing slightly differently.
Definitely. Something along those lines. That being said, I like how interactive Johnny has always been. Very interactive in his approach. Like he's allowed people to like have their input in the comments. He now does live streams where people can actually role play as the characters themselves, and dictate the story going forward as it's being made in front of their very eyes. Which, of course, nowadays that has its own pros and cons. We've talked about that before, but that approach, like actually, allowing the community to decide things going forward, it really does actually help people really feel connected. And now Emily's saying Johnny's cool. I like him. He's like Aiden, but he's cool.
Aiden can be cool sometimes.
I know, and like Aiden and Emily, used to hang out like all the time, so they are like very close as well. We just give Aiden a hard time a lot because reasons. But so yeah, that aspect I really like, and also Avani's like my brother, says Emily, which I guess it makes sense because you give him the hardest time of all, as the sister that you are. I suppose that makes sense. Oh, I forgot about the camera glitching thing. Haven't had that issue since the VTuber. What was I saying? Yeah, the approach with like including with well, speaking of Aiden, actually, the crossover aspect does help out a little bit, but also kind of hinders things when you consider that you're giving attention to even more pops on top of the ones that you haven't had time to develop yet. Because the issue with them mainly is that how short the episodes actually are. I understand that that's a thing that happens a lot of the time, and I myself started off with relatively short episodes in general, but some of these are like 1.5, 1 minute, less than a minute. A few of them are more than that, but that unfortunately ends up meaning that every plot is resolved really, really quickly, and the pacing feels like it doesn't like let anything sink in. You have a conflict, the pops show up, they have like one exchange of attacks, sometimes not even that. It's not like they just stand there and be like, we can stop you if we want to. We're not going to, but we could, so you better back off. And then they back off. And that's it. So even though we had a wide variety of villains, both from the source material itself, like Siphonia at the start of the series, and now also the Cloaked Master from Jazz Pops as it became more connected, it unfortunately didn't have that much time in order to make it that much in the first place. So honestly, yeah, it's so neat ideas throughout the whole thing, but the execution drags it down just a little bit. But the heart is absolutely there. I think that's best way to sum it up. Can I do the first 4 episodes of Disco Pop Season 2 when I next do them? If I remember, because it depends, because I just kind of like choose like on the day sporadically. I'm not gonna lie. but just as a brief view, yeah, the 4 episodes, they seem manageable enough for one stream. With season 2, there tends to be less to comment on with every frame that passes by. That's another thing as well, the logic. But not like Jazzwatch didn't have that too. Oh, Emily's saying, I love all of you. I've been here since I was like, and now I'm. You guys def shaped who I am today. I, of course, censored the ages for you, so that's that's not been revealed yet.
The bippity boopities. I've come into your life recently. I can say, you cool.
I came into your life less recently, but I can say you also cool.
You good. Just a lot of cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you good would be Aiden's phrase, definitely. And yeah, I know we also had the Jazz Pops, and we had one member of the Funk Pops. Yeah, so I mentioned the crossovers already, and how they're both a good thing and a bad thing, depends on how you look at it. Yeah, it does depend. I think because there was there wasn't that much oversight from Eli to Johnny and vice versa for their plans. Case in point, the age issue with the baby that I mentioned at the start of the stream, and how Snap Pop's age is going to be contradicted in Blues Pops and in Jazz Pop Season 2, as we've already seen. Also, you're not the oldest of the group. Quadzi is younger than you, but or is she actually? No, she is. She's younger than you. Yeah, you just wouldn't think that she is because of the things that she mentions to us behind the scenes. But no, she is actually the youngest. Consider that.
I'm old.
Yes. Which surprises some people. So, but yeah. Except when I'm in babyface. Or less babyface now, toddler face. Version 2. Yeah, to wrap up with the Jazz Pops, yeah, so I was saying about crossovers. Obviously I'm no stranger to having a series that's set in the same universe as something else that is pitched to you, and then trying to make a crossover happen between them. Which, yeah, I had to actually coordinate that with Aiden behind the scenes to make sure that Fallen Angels, which was being produced at a much faster pace than Mutant Girl was, still is, but even back then it was much more of an issue. Because it was the early episodes that were coming out, like lightning.
By the way, okay, I'm gonna have to ask Aiden how he throws out so fast.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, I could say same here, but considering that because yeah, he was very quick with his Mutant Girl scenes, especially because of like the urgency of the remake involving them. But that, yeah, well, actually, we're supposed to be doing he went to do a call tomorrow, or well, I say tomorrow, today for Emily and I. I guess you probably won't want to be involved with that aspect, Emily. We can change it to just a hangout, so you're not doing editing on your birthday. But either way, so I guess I could bring that up if it's just happens that Emily's not there. I don't know, because I was going to say, oh, let's invite all the editors to take part in that, considering that's what he wants to do. But yeah, I don't know. Anyway, so we had to coordinate that. We had to say like when exactly it was going to take place, which is why I had to make him delay his upload and everything. And the thing with Eli and Johnny, it seems like they've collabed on a few episode scripts, but the idea of just like, oh, you can take this character here, we'll put this in here at the same time, we'll have this happen. That was the extent of it. Like there wasn't much oversight with scripts or anything. Because I'm not sure if this is the era when Johnny even actually, I'm not sure how much of a script either of them used at this point, apart from for the collab episodes, which is why the crossover has a disadvantage in this situation, but also an advantage of how it ties them together and joins the communities and all that stuff, which clearly paid off. So yeah. Follow-up question. Oh, Emily says don't care. Sounds good. All right, we'll let you know tomorrow then, or today. Bleh. Anyway, Ghosty, you excited to see Blues Pops? Because yes, I'm very excited to review that.
Jacob is very excited to review that. I don't
Yeah,
know.
well,
I've never really been too big a fan of the pops. I just pop into these streams because I find the concept entertaining.
haha, pop into these streams.
Hey.
Yep, very much a thing that Julius would say.
I gotta say, I'm a fan of general magical girls, but I don't know. Something about the pops and the way it was and the way it's generally presented just doesn't appeal to me.
Hmm. There is that, and you have seen the source material, so it's not like it's like an issue with the people taking that format. It's just it seemed whatever way Totally TV came up with to inspire all of these situations.
It could be the fact that all the pops are color coded.
I guess that, but well, yeah, but then also Pretty Cure's a thing.
Yeah, but yeah, that and in the fan content, all of the pops generally look samey looking with little differences between them, causing my silly self to get confused which girl I'm supposed to be looking at.
Yeah, that is true. That is an issue with me sometimes as well, because again, they don't with the gacha ones. They don't get too much focus a lot of the time. Apart from the classic Earth Pop meme and stuff like that, it does get it is sometimes challenging to remember like who exactly is who, um, and like what names to have apart from like when obviously when they're on screen like displayed on top of them, then that helps things.
Yeah, because like I've noticed with other magical girls, there's at least little differences between their costumes that give it a lot of personality. Meanwhile, the pops, as I've noticed, really that.
Which is weird considering that the jazz pops were made by different people. I still don't get that, but I don't know. To Johnny's credit, I bleeding designs aside or whatever, I'm pretty sure he made them all himself and made them sort of look like they belong in the same space and didn't have one with a nose for no reason compared to everyone else. So that is something.
Hey, other characters have noses, so maybe a nose is a weird hereditary trait. Yes, your mother had a nose. Your mother had a nose, but your father didn't. Let's fill out this pundit square if you have a nose or not.
Oh my word, that could have been a 2018 gotcha right there. The girl with a nose in a world with no one having noses. Oh, except for 2018 gotcha wouldn't have given you the option for a nose, but you know what I mean. Someone would have just like drawn like a nose on every frame or something like that. Every screenshot. Are we okay with the redo of the season? I mean, that much is up to you. Despite how much I stressed over the past month, I'm not always like I don't always say like, oh, everything needs to have a remake after this or something. Some of the time it's just a case of like taking the things that people say with your old products and working them into your new, like with Ballroom Pops. But if you do want to tell the story, to satisfy yourself in that way and actually rework things so that it becomes more presentable to you, then yeah, by all means. So I neither encourage nor discourage it, I'll say. Then again, you are the equivalent of Aiden, so it probably will appeal to you particularly.
To be honest, I work under the philosophy that you should, first and foremost make content for yourself before you strive to make content for other people.
Hmm. That is true. I mean, despite how much of a community man you definitely are, Johnny, then yeah, you gotta be happy as well. that is also the case.
Meanwhile, me picks up Monster Compendium. I love this. This is something I'm more so putting as much effort as I am into for me, because my younger self would have loved to make something like this, but never had the courage to.
That's partly like how I felt about Gacha. If it's for me, it wasn't a courage thing. It was more, the means to do anything. I didn't actually know as many people, at the time because that I met a lot of the initial mutant girl people through the AFMAL community, and then also I I have never been good at drawing or animating or anything along those lines. I tried a few comic strips like way back in the day with some online stuff, but that was it. So yeah, Gacha was definitely something for me where I was like, even if the design process at the start was tiresome to me and I read it in that way, it gave me the freedom that I still really enjoy to this day, and also taught me a bunch of new skills that I now do have that I can include that my younger self, even from when I started, my 19-year-old self would still be like, yeah, this is amazing. I'm so glad that we were able to pull this off. So yeah, who knows what I'll be doing in the future? Depends if I continue this trend without dying first. We'll see. Oh, okay. Emily just said, "Or do what I do and just don't make the content." No, that's not. That's not the energy we want to put out here.
Like
We've
it or
got to
not,
review whenever. We've got to
like
whenever like don't make content. Just make content, but also consider the things that we're going to say in order to make when you make other content. That's the idea. I mean, even for the problematic stuff we talk about, it's more so like make content, but don't make it problematic. And here's an idea of how not to do that.
For instance, Aphmau picks up Metal Bat.
I was thinking more like Bad Girl's Little Boy, but yeah, even Aphmau's like some problematic aspects of Aphmau stuff. The werewolf stuff in season 5, or
Like it's
Aaron's issues in Falcon Claw and Jenny's red flags and that stuff.
Like it's not like I have any qualms with the inclusions of season 5, because something like that, an allegory to like racism and bigger political issues, can be done well. It's just a difference between doing them well and
Aphmau doing everything that she did, and that character Aphmau, that is to say,
yeah,
on the ball
like
for Aaron.
there's get a bunch of views because my old content is shaky and quakey.
Okay, yeah, but bear in mind, I am like, I've been going through for like the past few days, going through like the edit that I have of all of the Taming the Bad Boy reviews. So like reminding myself of the stuff where I was just like, I've been looking at this show through like rose tinted glasses a lot, considering like how it's it elevated Shorty's character and everything, like actually brought the group closer together, and I started all these different things people seem to have latched on to, had a few basic ideas, created a few like the inside jokes that we have and stuff like that, and the Cole voice and blah blah blah. Then you look back at the actual show and yeah, I think I just got past a scene in episode 5 where Cole just like tears Yuki's clothes off. So yeah, more problematic than I remembered, even though I knew already that I was forgetting stuff deliberately. So as far as I'm aware with It's a Nightwolf Life, up until this point, we've had none of those issues so far. So shake and quake all you want, but it will definitely not be as bad.
You cannot hide your past forever. Just like my old DeviantArt, eventually your sins will be laid bare for the internet to see.
There is that. Or just do what I do and just like never hide anything, just post everything all in the same place. Oh well, there are many ways to approach them. To each their own. But yeah. Oh, hold on. I'm very excited to review Nice Pops eventually. And that'll be cringe as well. That's a fair point. Should I, like, as far as Disco Pops goes, I haven't looked at the upload dates yet. Should I do season 2 of Disco Pops first, or Nice Pops, or review those simultaneously? How was the uploads go with those? Were they?
No, Emily, you're not allowed to find my DeviantArt. That's partially because everything is gone, and that's actually a long story within itself that I don't want to explain. Just like Jim, I don't want to mention it.
You'd rather not talk about it.
I'd rather not talk about it.
There
Partially
you go.
because it was a horrible experience. Remember when I mentioned that Ulrich had quite a few simps?
Yes, I was about to say like, oh yeah, some of the Sims must have got out of hand or something like that.
No, not just that. Through the simpage of the boy, I actually found a very, let's say, unpleasant person.
Right, yeah.
And unpleasant people do is ruin things for everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
And no, Wipeout Nina fan, cringe is good. We all create cringe at one point. After all, I had Minecraft OCs.
I had spoil. I mean, technically speaking, so did I, and I role played as all of them by myself, with horrendous audio, no script, and barely a plan moving forward. If people think that Tales of Sir Nicanorth was boring, or like how it was all less structured, or whatever you think, that's the polished version. That's the refined and practiced version of what I used to do. If you ever see Forgius Pascal or Colmenar Viejo, the prequel of Sir Nicanorth, which is still canon, there's a lot to consider in there with those ones. Also, yeah, that video you're talking about with you and Yandere Dev, Emily, in the private chat. I mean, that's something that that's something that someone else just made to try and like bring you down. It really depends. Like as far as community response goes, it is it is one of the struggles, like the hurdles as a creator to try and like get through those in general when those things happen. One of my fears actually is that someone will eventually take one of these reviews that way if I end up being like too harsh or something. But so far, that doesn't seem to have happened. We've had a few requests to stop the reviews themselves, but for the most part, people have been like, okay, that's it. That's just what it is. I can ignore this and carry on myself, or take it on board. So who knows? You got people sticking up for you because the goals. Yeah, exactly.
Meanwhile,
that's also another thing. Having people stick up for you does also like really help. Because I think that's the issue with Minecraft Face that you had, Ghosty, was that no one was like in your corner fighting your cause when that stuff happened.
No, nobody was fighting my cause, and unfortunately, Minecraft Fates didn't withstand the test of time. It had the problem Miss Mania had, and people directly comparing my content to its direct inspiration at the time, Afmao. Even though they were both self-included stories in a generic fantasy setting, people were like, "Oh, you must be copying Afmao for the clout," and that didn't. Sadly, there was nobody in my corner, and that caused Minecraft Fates to not withstand the test of time past episode 10.
Same thing happened to Mystic Hills, minus the quitting parts, but same comparison stuff happened to Mystic Hills, and that was why I made that video of me as well. But that's also why whenever you know how like people have said stuff relating to Afmal when I'm reviewing Mystic Hills' stuff, and then and then I just completely ignore it. That's why, because I made a promise to myself that I wasn't going to make any direct comparisons to Afmal whilst reviewing Mystic Hills at the same time or referring to them there, because I saw what that did to Mania at the time. Despite the fact that I made an entire video talking about this, but I said whatever I had to say back then, and she seemed to be okay. She seemed to like it.
Believe it or not, it can be really discouraging when someone compares your content to just a whole another creator who might be bigger.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I made a lot of comparisons during these reviews to some other to other people, being like, "Oh, that's like this thing here." Usually, it's in a positive light, and usually I make several references to several different things because, as far as I'm concerned, that's what I say about creativity. Really, is that it's the remixing of previous ideas into something original, rather than like having to create like new novel ideas in the first place. Because that's how human brains work. We learn and we process, and then we eventually churn out something mixed together that's our own. That's usually how it goes. So that's that's why I do that, and be like, okay, so here's the thing that I mentioned in which how, and also sometimes if it's something similar, I can use it as a piece of advice to see how someone else handled the same storyline to avoid making a mistake that's going to go further otherwise. So I think it can be helpful, but not necessarily to an extent where someone's like, this is just this thing over and over again and blah, 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 you know. And especially where someone's like, oh, stop copying this person if you're definitely not doing that.
Yeah, meanwhile, one thing I didn't mention to you, Jacob, is that someone went directly to my DeviantArt about it.
Okay.
They went directly to my DeviantArt and kept calling me uninspired.
Of course.
And that for me, like my little child, 13-year-old self was like, oh, obviously this person who I've never met is telling the truth. I should probably stop creating on you for YouTube.
See, that's another thing to remember for reviews, that commentary is subjective, or well, for reviews or for anyone's opinions or whatever, they're all subjective. So we all can say like, oh, this is not what we like, and we can be like, oh, well, I disagree in this form. I mean, even people even disagreed with Emily on design stuff in the past. So believe it or not, it does happen. So yeah, it depends. We're talking about people's responses to people's responses to criticism, but also deliveries of bad criticism versus good, and how to do that really. So, and yeah, no one gets to call Ghosty uninspired. Definitely not. Like, Ghosty nowadays is usually the go-to person for anything with anything like particularly like art involved. Maybe not so much with in terms of those are the gacha designs, but everything other than that, which there seems to be. In fact, that's initially one of the reasons that I was introduced to Ghosty in the first place by Aiden for
Yeah.
for the logo design, but then also for acting and storytelling and things like that. Yeah, you seem to be becoming a jack of all trades very quickly.
Yeah, that's because like when I was a wee bomber back on DeviantArt, I saw a creator doing a thing, and I was like, oh, I could do that thing too. So I just used my mouse to create some mediocre pieces of art.
Fair enough. I think I said on her birthday, Emily, she just left. But yeah, well, for me, it wasn't so much about the internet as at the time, because I started off by just by writing song parodies, and at one point I was singing one of them to myself, whilst in the changing rooms actually. And someone asked me about it, and I was like, "Oh, it's this thing I'm doing for Gangnam Style, which was a new song at the time." I'll tell you how long ago that was. And it's like, I'm making this, it's called Harry Potter Style or whatever. And then I performed that for for PE, like the first part of that. People seem to latch onto that immediately. I finished the song, and then it became like a huge thing, and like blew up in brackets like around the school. Like I couldn't walk down the corridor at one point. Like someone stopping me to ask me to sing that song. And that lasted for some time, and then I started basically getting into books, including this one right here, which recently has been found, which was one of my first ever, and yeah, looking through it again, not exactly the best version. I remade this one because I thought that it was lost to time. Currently combining those two in the background of things to make my second publication. But anyone who's read Erasmus the Elf or has heard anything about that, that's the one that came before, just directly before that one I just showed. But that's where I got my start with writing, and I made like several more of those. This one, like that was 2013 to 2019, basically, because 2019 was when I switched over to making scripts for the Mutant Girl and such, and that's why I had a head start in terms of storytelling and everything, and just fill in the blanks later. And I'm still filling in those blanks as we go along. As far as songs go, thanks to Emily, finally got that music thing where I'm going to process those vocals in a second, and that will hopefully be going well. I haven't been using it too often because I've been, just drained of all energy as of recently. Which means also we should probably stop this stream because I want to at least catch up on those hours and everything. You've heard of DeviantArt before, But what is it? It's like it's the biggest art sharing site in the world. It is used mainly for art submissions, but also you can have like literature on there as well, or combine the two with captions and stuff like that. Basically,
Yeah, you could even post animations on there before Flash was defunct.
oh right, okay, didn't realize.
I've been on DeviantArt for years.
Yes, well, we've.
Don't go there. It's literally a garbage site.
I know.
It's
Yeah,
gotten worse over the past few years?
I know your rest as good as mine. But yeah, so it depends because like sometimes it can surprise you because actually one of my what the set like so like ArtDroid29 actually has a DeviantArt page, and that's when we first started talking was actually when I was doing the what if Piccolo had a son stuff on the Butter Bunch, which eventually prompted this image by ArtDroid. Oh wait, actually this is a different one, but it's the same idea of me in Piccolo's gear from Dragon Ball.
God.
Yeah, there's another version without the background, but that's one thing there. So, sometimes it's good. Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes it's good, but in my case, I just generally avoid DeviantArt because I'm a really garbage person on there once, and ever since then, I just haven't been able to look at it the same way. Trust me, it's a long story you don't want.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, there was a time before 5 years later where I couldn't bring myself to watch AFMAL videos because of someone in the AFMAL community who was actually closely related to AFMAL, associated with AFMAL, that was a garbage human being as well, which has resulted in what I've now discovered to be a whole era before the modern AFMAL roleplays, where not roleplays, I mean the modern AFMAL stuff, where I just like haven't watched some videos that are actually really entertaining and like, wow, there's like a whole pocket of the videos that I used to like immediately click on like every day
No,
that I just haven't
Ghost,
seen yet.
like
So
Ghost Kitty, DeviantArt is a okay place to post art. Just be
be
careful with who you talk to online. That should be the rule of thumb in general.
yeah, beware of
Because
garbage people everywhere.
some people don't have the best intentions for you.
No, definitely not.
Something I wish I took to task as a child. If not, I wouldn't have met this person, and I probably wouldn't have spent 3 years stressing about another person's mental health while my own was crashing down from under me.
Yeah, there's that as well. Jade Animations is actually very correct about the idea that you're not responsible for someone else's mental health. That's something that I actually had to learn as well for different reasons, not DeviantArt related. Oh well, that was a bit of a morbid way to end this stream that was, all about disco pops. But yeah, either way, the show is not to blame for that. That was just us morbidly offloading like our, deep philosophies about the nature of creativity and criticism and online interactions and whatever. Yeah, beware of garbage people. Disco Pops is all right, and happy birthday, Emily. So please leave a like or dislike because your opinion matters, and subscribe if you've done so already, and also subscribe to Ghosty and Emily. Just look up their YouTube channels and such before the name changes again for Ghosty, so you can do that quickly. And check out the original playlist in the description, which fortunately does not need to be updated after I end the stream and have to change the title. So there we go. On that note, until next